Hello, my crafty friends. Well, we're starting to work on the 2 journals out of 1 Digi Kit project that I'm planning to try to get done this month. And what we're going to talk about today is what comes first. It's kind of what comes first, the chicken or the egg kind of thing, but it's what comes first, the cover or the signatures. And you can do it either way you want. I decided that I wanted to choose cover. Well, I'm doing one of each, actually. This one, the pages are 8.5 by 11, and they come all the way out to the edge. This is the pages that Tammy printed off and sent to me. And so I don't want to cut these down. So I'm going to choose my cover based on the size of the paper. And I had two books, all I could find in my stash, that were that looked like they would be the right size. That one and this one. And they're both the same size book cover. Well, this one's a little bit smaller, but this one's fatter, so it'll make a fatter journal if I want to use the spine that's on it. And this one has this shiny coated cover, where this one has a matte fabric cover. And ultimately I decided to use this one because of that. Because I'll have to do less to this. I can leave some of the cover just like it is. I won't have to completely cover it up like I would with this one. Because for one thing, the red just does not go. And this one, it'll look nice with the kit. Even if I left it like this, I probably could, I guess. But hadn't even thought about that. But I chose this book because it would fit my pages. So it would fit my signatures. And it's fat enough I can make a nice journal that people can add a bunch of stuff into if they want to. And I could, use the spine that's with it. So that was that choice. Looking for the second one, I already had to cut the pages down a little bit because they had borders like this where it wouldn't print all the way to the edge, and I didn't want those borders. Now I left them on these pages because I would be cutting these out anyway, and I wasn't going to cut off more borders than I had to. But on these pages I took off all the borders. And of course, these are the coffee dyed ones, so that's what's on the back, is just coffee dyed paper. So I cut these down, and then I cut some of these papers, the ones that were my, my homemade papers and hand dyed papers. I cut those down to fit, and my cutter wasn't wanting to cut really well, so these papers I had a harder time cutting. Next time I'll use the ruler X-Acto knife method instead of a paper cutter. But I was doing this in my recliner on a piece of, a board on my recliner, and I couldn't do the X-Acto knife method. So I just went ahead and did that. I ended up messing up a few pieces, and see how they're kind of torn up. But I'll use these for other things in the journal. I just, those won't be pages in the journal, and I did these. These are the ones that I'll have to do something else on the back because they're just white on the back, and I don't want them to be white on the back. But they're all cut down to this, the same size as these papers right here. And, this one has a little corner out of it, but I decided that would be okay. And so then I went looking for a cover to fit these pages. And I found this one, and I like it because it's purple. It is torn, and so I will have to work on the binding. But it's a real pretty dark purple, which will look beautiful with this, so I can leave it partly the cover just like I can this one, which I like that. but my pages are just almost too big. So for this one, I'm going to have to cut the papers down a little bit more. And so that way, I guess that's a good bonus, because you can see how to do one each way, where you do cut the pages down and where you don't. Today, we're just going to talk about covers, though. So I'm going to move all of these papers. I'm going to pause it and move these papers out of the way, and then we'll talk about covers. Okay, so now I've got these two books. Now, if I keep the cover of this one, it's not going to be as big a journal as this one is, but that's okay. We're not trying to make them just alike anyway. So the first thing I need to do is take this apart, which it's almost done for me. It's almost done for me on that side anyway. And then we're gonna figure out how do we get this to work for my book. I don't want to mess up the cover, so I want to make sure I'm cutting down here next to the book block. Okay, now that I've got a bunch of lovely vintage paper that I can use for something else, and I have this cover that I can repair somewhat. I'm definitely going to cover it up anyway, but I think it's worth it to go ahead and kind of repair it, because it fits well with the book pages and everything. It'll save me a step. Right here, I'm going to have to use some glue. So let's just go ahead and do a little gluing while we're waiting. I mean, then it can sit while we, and I don't think, well, I'm just going to go ahead and put some glue on this too. It's not going to be the fix that makes it strong, but maybe I can get this to glue together enough that it'll be easier for me to put my support in the middle that we will actually use. Okay, that obviously did not help much. Okay, we're going to need some kind of tape, and I could glue some Tyvek on here, but I don't think that would not be easy to do since it's torn. So I think what I'm going to do is, I've got this. It's a fabric sports tape, and I've had it for a while. I just haven't been using it. I guess it was precious. Anyway, I'm going to start on this side. And put that tape on. And then we'll go from the other side. Okay, I think I'm going to go ahead and I'm not going to put it very far over here, because I don't want and you want to make sure you go in that ditch really good. Okay, now then we will turn it over, and this part right here, Probably needs to come out. I should have thought of that before I got started on the other stuff. So it's better to take this stuff off earlier instead of in the middle of taping stuff like I'm doing. So do what I say, not what I do. Okay. Now then, we're going to take this piece and we're just going to fold it right up here. Let it reinforce there, just like we let it reinforce on the other side. Uh-oh. I may have to use some glue now because I moved it, but that was buckling the spine, which I didn't want it to do that, so I pulled it too tight. Okay, so here's this side reinforced, and now we want to work on this side. I think I'm going to go ahead and this is not going to be easy. Okay. Let's turn it back like this. Okay. Now we obviously need to do in here too. And this isn't, we're not going to leave it like this. This is just a reinforcement thing. And you can use fabric and glue instead of using tape. I just had this, and I'm gonna use fabric also. So this is kind of gonna, I guess, take the place of what I usually use Tyvek for. Okay. Now then, we have essentially repaired that spine, and it's I think it's going to be good. And I am probably going to put my signatures in with the hidden spine, so I can go ahead and decorate the whole cover if I want to. I don't know if I'll do that today or not. Mostly this video is just to talk to you about how do you decide what you're going to do. And one thing you can do, like I said, is make all your signatures and then find a book that will fit, or make a cover that will fit. Okay, this one was not torn up. It's old and delicate, but it wasn't torn up, so I'm going to have to be really careful when I cut it. And I'm just taking it right here and just going down. And if I keep separating it as I do this, I can keep, hopefully, from cutting the spine. Okay, there we go. So we didn't cut the cover here, and it's just the book cloth basically with these little bits of stuff. And since those are loose, I'm going to take them out, and we'll do something sturdier. Oh, well, the back's pretty much done, isn't it? Okay, let's just take that off. And this is another book. I can use the insides for other projects. Okay. These make great texture and collage, so don't throw that away. If you like texture in your collage, then you'll happily find a way to use it. Okay. Now for this one, since it's in pretty good shape out here, I'm just gonna reinforce the inside with some Tyvek. I do think since that's not even, I need to make it even. Okay. So I'm going to pause the video a second and go find some Tyvek. Okay, here's part of a big Tyvek envelope that I've already made several spines out of. Okay, we're going to first just get a piece that's workable size, and then let's decide how wide do we need it. Okay, this is a 2-inch spine, so I'm going to make it 3 inches. That way I can go 1/2 inch over here and 1/2 of an inch over there. So let's move it around and put it in like this. Oh, no, we're not going to. We're just gonna do this, and then if I need to adjust it, I will, because that other side wasn't straight and it would have made me cut crooked. So okay, so let's look and see how close did I get to what I need. Okay, I think that's fine. So I'm going to put this along the edge here. And I don't think that's really straight. And I want it to be straight. So let's straighten it up. Oh dear. Okay, you're going to have to look at this. You see how much wider this is up here than it is down here? Oh, and that's I need to take that off too. Okay, but you can see that the this is not done evenly all the way around, and neither is this one. This one, look how it comes all the way. It's very crooked. It's put on very crooked. So trying to match them up, you know, from here to there is not going to work. Oh, let's see if we can just. Okay, now then, take those papers So we're just going to go to the higher side because we'll put something else over this anyway. And I think we're going to cut it off right at that crease. That worked out well. Okay. Now, when you do this, you, like I said, you can use fabric or you can use some other kind of paper. You don't have to use Tyvek if you don't have it. But Tyvek is, I mean, you can't tear it. It's going to really give the spine protection. And that's why I'm using it. But you don't have to. If you don't have it, don't fret. You can still make a nice book. You can still make a nice book. Okay. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is just go down this side. And then right in the ditch here. And underneath that paper. Now let's go ahead and go a little bit here. Okay. And you have to really crease this because the Tyvek wants to retain its shape. It does not want to be creased. So you have to kind of force it. And by going ahead and putting a little bit of glue right here, once I've pushed this into place, that will kind of keep it there. Okay. I'm going to turn things around so it'll be easier for me. And I'm going to go ahead and you could use a bone folder if you have one. Whatever you want to use, a credit card, whatever you want to use to kind of burnish that down. Okay. I'm going to do some more here. And then I'm going to go down the spine here. A couple of lines. And then we'll stop there for now. So let's use the bone folder here. Let's make sure it's going to glue down good. Now, if you're using another kind of paper, you have to be more careful here because it will tear. The Tyvek won't, and so you don't have to be as careful. With the Tyvek as you would some other kind of paper. Fabric you wouldn't probably have to worry about either, but okay. Now we've got this. So we've got our whole book. So we can use as much of this cover or as little of it. I mean, we can cover up as much or little as we want to. Now you can see how my glue kind of, you can see the glue through there. So you might want to use a different kind of glue if, like Yes Paste or a glue stick even. I don't know, something that won't do that. But I was planning to cover mine up with lace anyway, so I'm not worried about that. So here we've got our cover. We've got this cover, and we've got this cover. And both of them are, you know, nice and sturdy, and they'll They'll take care of the book real well, I think. But both of these need to be decorated. And because of the because I didn't cover this up on the outside like I did this one will be easier to do. This one I'll definitely have to put a piece of fabric before I put lace on the binding. This one I could just put lace and it would look nice because it would be kind of like just putting lace on top of this. So you have I have one extra option on this one that I don't have with this one. That's not a big deal, but also this name is all I really have to cover up for this one. And I can cover Etiquette up or an Emily Post if I want to or not. And that's kind of where I'm at right now. I haven't decided how I want to decorate the covers. So we will decorate them next time. This video was mostly about how do you decide where to start. And this is where I'm starting. I'm going to start with my covers, and then I'm going to make my signatures. So I'll see you next time when we decorate these. Thank you. God bless you. Bye-bye.